Hi everyone, welcome to the visual guide for World of Darkness. This is the third installment of the Crystal Tower 24-man raid, made available by patch 2.5 Before the Fall Part 1. As usual, to keep the guides as easy to follow as possible, I've split up this guide into two parts. If you're looking for the guides on Cerberus and Cloud of Darkness, click here. My name is Ms. Tech and I'll be your raid guide. The trash in this section is quite simple and isn't really anything you haven't seen before. Have a Dragoon pull before everyone is there, making sure to lock out as many people as possible. Healers, keep up your Bard and Black Mage tanks. Dodge all those AoEs and burn everything into the ground. The first boss is Angra Mainyu. This boss incorporates the old with the new, and you'll notice a few familiar abilities. The boss will periodically cast Double Vision. This is a room-wide AoE that divides the floor into two colors, one dark, one light. Depending on what color you're standing in when it goes off, you'll receive a stacking debuff that will destroy you if it stacks to 4. To avoid this, players reset their stacks by alternating which color they get hit by each time. If you've forgotten what color you were just in, have a look at your debuff. Brand of the Ireful means you've previously gotten hit by the dark side, and Brand of the Sullen means you've previously gotten hit by the light. The dark side also spawns directly behind the boss, with the light in front, so position yourself accordingly. You'll notice that these small round platforms will light up throughout the fight. The boss will also cast Mortal Gaze, which will place a Doom debuff on players. As with any gaze attack, players can turn their characters away to dodge Doom entirely. If you are afflicted by Doom, be sure to run to a glowing platform to remove the debuff. A random player will be targeted and tethered while the boss either casts level 100 Flare or level 150 Death. We can talk about what these types of abilities really mean, but since it's easy to lose all mathematical ability in the heat of battle, the easiest way to handle this is to run out of the circle if you see a tether on you, and continue tunneling if you don't. Periodically, the boss will summon 4 adds around the room called Final Hourglasses. At the same time, sections of the room will begin to light up in sequence, like a giant roulette. Once the last ad is killed, whatever section is lit up at that time will stay lit, trapping any players standing in the area. After a short moment, the boss will destroy the trapped players. The only way to avoid death here is to ensure that you are not standing in the lit area when the ads are about to die. The easiest way is to stay close to the boss or on one of the dividing areas between the two sections, allowing you to quickly move out of the way when necessary. The time you have to run out of this affected area is inversely proportional to how long it took the raid to destroy the hourglasses. Either way, it's best to keep an eye out on where the roulette is when the last ad is getting low and then move appropriately. Ariman ads will also spawn that should be picked up by the off tanks. You'll be seeing a lot of player deaths if these stay up too long, so burn these down quickly. Remember to face away from Mortal Gaze, clear Doom if you need, and bounce between the two ground colors. Kill ads, avoid death, and you'll be golden. The next set of trash is again not much you haven't seen before, literally. Burn the mini-boss, kill the portals and ads as they spawn. Once you kill Baby Scylla, Baby Zonde will spawn out of a tricky treasure chest. Zonde will also spawn a number of portals around the room that will spawn ads if they are not killed. Kill as many portals as you can to reduce how many ads you get. The more portals you kill also seems to lower the amount of damage Ancient Quagga does to the raid. The second boss is the 5-headed dragon. This fight is a dance of AoEs. If the name didn't tip you off, this boss has 5 heads. Each head is related to an element and has a corresponding mechanic to watch out for. It may seem overwhelming at first, but I find it much simpler than the first boss. The boss has a huge frontal white breath that should be avoided. Getting hit by this will apply a healing debuff, so tanks need to take extra care not to get hit by it. A random player may be marked with this purple target. After a short while, they'll be targeted by a massive lightning hit that will kill them if not split among other players. Group up to avoid death. This poison AoE will spawn some ads that should be destroyed as soon as possible. If you don't kill the slimes, they'll join together to form a big slime that will eventually cast a raid-wide nuke that silences everyone for 10 seconds. Obviously, don't let this happen. Standing in the puddles will keep any extra ads from spawning, so use this to your advantage. This ice puddle will immediately freeze and damage anyone inside, and will gradually grow in size. Any players nearby should move away as soon as you see it plopping down. These bird ads will tether to a random player, deal a fair amount of damage, and place a stacking debuff on them. To minimize damage on a single player, this tether can be transmitted to another player by running through them until the bird has despawned. Lastly, a player will be marked up, and after a short time, they and anyone near them will be blasted into the air, dealing damage. To handle this, the player marked should make their way away from others to avoid hitting them. The boss can also spawn a few orbs or prominences that will do raid damage until they're destroyed. The main mechanic to keep an eye out for, and will most likely result in a wipe if ignored, is discordance. A number of brightly colored columns will spawn around the boss, and the heads will become targetable. The boss will also begin to slowly cast discordance. To interrupt this cast, the raid needs to destroy the heads one by one. With each head destroyed, the next cast will be faster, but do less damage. Once all of the heads have been destroyed, the cast is a manageable amount of raid damage. Anytime Heatwave is cast, any action used will do damage to you. This is a quick and easy way to kill yourself, so once you see that cast, stop doing anything for the short duration before resuming your attacks. As stated earlier, this fight is all about handling AoEs. Kill the boss, collect your purples. If you have any questions or comments so far, please let me know. We'll go over the rest of the instance in part 2. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.